This is Chris from Less Than Jake, and you're watching Amplify Youth Music Project. There, we got that out of the way.
So this is Chris from Less Than Jake.
Hi.
I'll just jump straight into questions, really.
Let's do it.
So your new album was out end of last year. See the Lights. How's it? Had any response from the fans? How's that going?
Good. Everyone seems to like it. That's a fan of the band, and haven't heard really too many negative things about it.
It's good. It's good. So you're happy with it?
Yeah, we all are. We're real happy with it.
It's the main thing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was your 9th studio album.
Something like that.
Yeah. So number 10's coming up. Have you got any plans for it already, or?
Yes, we do.
You do?
As a matter of fact.
Oh, that's good to know. So I won't ask for too many details because.
Well, there's really no details to give, but we're gonna record something soon.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, looking forward to it. So you've been together for about 20 years.
Around
Less Than Jake as a general have. So yeah. So how have you managed to keep it all together? Is there a special way?
By not drinking or doing any drugs, by staying in youth projects and staying out of bars, and when you're 13 to 19, you should do that. And after that, we had to play in bars. We do that around the world. But at the end of the day, we have a right laugh and a giggle, and that's what we're still here for.
So it's just all about having fun while you do it?
It's about having fun. You have to find the right guys to do it with. It's the same 4 guys that have been here all 20 years, and then our saxophone player has been with us for 14 years. So it's been the same core of the band.
Massive amount of time.
Yeah, you give and take, and you learn how to do things.
You couldn't spend that amount of time with people you didn't enjoy being with, really.
Yeah, I mean, there's sometimes you want to kill each other, but for the most part, you make it work.
So when you first started, you must have been inspired by somebody or something, and music changed so much in 20 years. Would you say your inspiration changed? Who's inspired you?
Well, I mean, a lot of English bands were, this band called Snuff was a big inspiration. We love the Specials, the Clash. As far as American punk bands go, Bad Religion was a big influence, and Operation Ivy, big influence. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Would you say you have any new influences now, like looking?
The Amplify Youth Music Project is my influence, and I'm gonna talk about that as much as I can.
All right, that's good to hear.
It's a cool thing though what you guys are doing, because there's a lot of parents that don't want anywhere in the world, in the States, that they don't want you. Actually, you can't get in bars if you're underage to play in the States. So and there's a lot of talent that's under the age of 19 that should be able to get out there and play. So.
Thanks. Well, So yourself personally, then, when was it you realised you wanted to be in a band, or was there a time where you were?
I was my first memory is probably 2 years old.
Well,
my parents were musicians, so I grew up. I grew up in bars.
Fortunate enough to have that.
Yeah, I mean, my parents. Growing up in bars is better than growing up behind bars. It's not. Edit.
But yeah, so this doesn't need to be edited. I can maybe lose my words.
Yeah, no, I mean, ultimately I grew up around it. It was just kind of part of, everyday life. Music was always played in my house. It was always encouraged. It was never a bad thing. It was, I never brought music home. My parents said, "You can't listen to that." I could listen to anything I wanted.
And they'd appreciate it.
Yeah,
that's good.
They sometimes maybe didn't want to hear it, or they'd go in the other room or something. Maybe it wasn't their cup of tea, but they never gave me shit about it.
That's good. That's good.
Never gave me stuff about it. Edit.
Well, that's cool. So you've been on tour with many bands, and you've been Warped Tour everywhere. So who would you say is your favourite band to play with?
Probably Oasis.
Oasis?
Yeah.
Well, when was that?
Some festival in Germany, probably in 2000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it because it was a good fun being with them, or just?
It was just ridiculous that we were on the same show as Oasis.
It's pretty odd. Yeah. It's good, that.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So you can.
And I went past one of the Gallagher brothers' shops. I guess he owns a clothing outlet in England.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I think he does.
You don't know about this?
I don't know. Not
all right, the taxi driver told me earlier today. He pointed out. I can't recall the name of it, but
it would be in Manchester. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a men's clothing shop. I guess it's a chain that's around England.
Could be.
You should check it out if you need some dapper duds.
No idea.
Yeah, we're all a bit clueless.
Yeah. Just Google it.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
This advert was sponsored by.
So, who would be your ideal lineup to play with then? If you could have, you know.
Us. Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin singing for Metallica. And the original version of The Who.
Wow.
With all original members that are dead but could somehow be brought back to life.
Oh yeah, it's your own fantasy.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, but Robert Plant singing for Zeppelin or singing for Metallica could happen.
Uh-huh.
But it won't happen. But
so you guys go on tour a lot as well.
Yep.
So at the moment you're in the UK doing UK tour, Real Big Fish, and then you're off to is it Australia you go in next?
Australia and then New Zealand.
And then New Zealand, and then America not long after that as well.
Correct.
What do you do to fill all the spare time between like traveling and stuff? What?
Well, we all have like side things going on. I just got off a solo tour myself. I went out for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In the States, I did a tour, and it was just me and acoustic guitar. You know, I give guitar lessons in my spare time as well. I like to read a lot, and yeah.
Read it in particular?
I read about the Amplify Youth Music Project and how really cool of a thing it is.
All right.
No, I like to read music biographies.
Oh, awesome! Any you'd recommend?
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Meatloaf.
Very good. I read the Aussie one a while ago, and that was.
Is
good.
meatloaf a thing over here? You guys don't eat meatloaf, do you?
No, I've never had meat. I really want to try it.
You've had meatloaf?
Sorry, I was into
What would they call that here? They call it meatloaf?
Yeah, my mum used to make it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you learn something new every day.
It was quite nice.
Could you make meatloaf?
I will make you meat.
I had
I
a
meatloaf
steak and ale pie the other day that was delicious.
Have you never had a steak and ale
Yes,
pie?
of course I have, but this was
I didn't know this.
This is a particularly delicious and tasty one. I liked it.
All right. Now, even though we are in Manchester right now, you don't have to say it, but what's your favourite venue?
In the UK?
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world? The Manchester Academy, right here. Any place that people show up to see us play is
It's
a
always
great
a good.
venue.
It's always a good start.
Yep, and then there's some really crap venues, but we won't talk about those.
Fair
Because
enough.
I'll probably end up being back there playing there. So.
I know you are. All right. So, I lost my words again. Do
So did I.
you get nervous? Like
I'm
before
nervous.
you go on
I'm nervous
stage?
right now.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know.
No, you don't get nervous. You get like a, I don't know.
Excited?
Yeah, it's like a good energy. You know,
Did you used
start
to get
into it.
nervous?
When we first started out, yeah, of course. I mean, first time you got in front of an audience, you know. And if you think we're bad now, we were really bad when we first started. So we had reason to be nervous because we knew the locals probably weren't going to like us.
So did you do any like pre-show rituals to try and like come over these nerves or anything?
Just a little jumping around, a little exercising. You know, maybe a couple push-ups. You know, have some vitamins, some orange juice,
Get the blood going.
a water, maybe a half a banana.
Wow.
You know, a little bit of jam on some toast.
I thought you said on the
Or on
banana.
the banana.
Wherever you want the
Just
jam.
a couple things, you know. I do it all in the same order every night how I said it just now.
Alright, so
The biggest thing is staying hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated.
staying hydrated.
Yes.
Is that why everyone has a bottle of water? Does it just get warm up there?
Sometimes, not really on a tour like this when it's really cold outside. Usually the building, even with all the people in there, it's still it's
Nice.
warm, but it's not Florida in July warm.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So
If you've ever been to Florida in July, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, don't go.
it's a great advertisement for Florida there, you know.
Yeah.
Don't go, not in July.
Now go from November to about February. You'll love it. You won't want to leave.
Is it still warm?
Right now?
Yeah, in Florida.
Yeah, it's warm, but it's not bad. It's like probably 23, 24 degrees.
It's like the warmest it ever gets over here.
Yeah, but that's like
Nice.
that's for a high, low like 15, 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go on to back to the music. Writing songs. Who writes the songs?
I'd rather talk about the weather.
Oh,
Actually, yeah.
So the weather in Florida today.
Today in Manchester. No. Good.
So who writes the songs in Lesson J? Who's is it everybody?
You can find that on Wikipedia. Next question. To answer your question, our bass player and I write the songs, our drummer writes the words, and our horn players write the horn parts, and we throw it into a blender, and it all kind of comes out. And our sax player actually wrote 2 songs on the newest record.
I'll see the lights. What two?
He wrote "Give Me Something to Believe In." He wrote the music for that one, and he wrote the music for John the Baptist Bones. Those 2 songs.
Cool, man. So you've had some songs. You've had 2 songs in the Tony Hawk's games, which at the time when they were around were very big games, especially musically influential.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say. So how did that? Was that like a big break for you? Did you find that awesome? What was the biggest break you've had?
How long you got? We could talk about
Go.
that. We've had a lot of breaks. A lot of good breaks. That's why we're still around.
Go for it.
The video game thing was cool though because it opened us up to a whole new audience.
Yeah, that's how I found it.
Yeah, I mean there was kids that had no idea who we were, but they were video gamers, you know, and so those things were great. To this day, people still come to see us play because of those video games. So that was really good.
Cool. Yeah. Also, the song, one of them was "All My Best Friends Are Metalheads." You're probably one of the best hits, for ranking up in the charts. But at the beginning of that, there's like a little speech. What does that mean? Like, I know what it means, obviously. What's it mean? Like, who wrote that?
I don't know.
Do you don't know?
No, we got it off some record or something.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we just took it and.
Do you know
I don't know what it's from. I honestly don't. No, I don't.
It's a lot. It means a lot though. What it says is very.
Well, you'll hear it tonight.
Oh, that's good to know.
So,
yeah.
One of the young people from Amplify, probably you had this interview like months and months ago. They came up and said, "We think this song represents what Amplify is, or that beginning bit represents what."
Oh yeah, cool.
Because
yeah, maybe I don't even know how. You know what? If you type the whole thing in to a search and see what comes up, I mean, our song would probably come up first, but maybe not. Maybe the original thing, you'll know what it came from. I do not know.
I'll give it a go. And we'll hunt that guy down and ask him.
a bit of an Amplify anthem in itself, just because that beginning bit.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the whole song as well.
Yeah. Well, the whole song's about not judging a book by its cover. That's what the song's about, and it's not looking down on somebody because they're a kid or they're an old person or whatever, and being in a punk band and saying all my best friends are metalheads is not the coolest thing you could do, but it just it basically it's our whole thing is like we're just everyone's equal and we're friends with everybody. So
yeah, well that's how it should be.
Yeah
in general. So a bit of an odd question here. If I went onto your iTunes right now, or what do you use, iTunes or whatever you use, what would be the most embarrassing thing I could find on there?
There's nothing embarrassing in there.
What would be the oddest thing that stands out?
I mean, there's tons of odd things. Like there's about this much punk music, and then there's tons of metal. There's tons of R&B and soul, rap. No country really. I'm not a country guy.
Oh, everyone's
but yeah, nothing. I mean, I'm trying to think. I think I even have a Lady Gaga record in there.
Why not?
Yeah, I didn't buy it though.
we interviewed the band Soil last night, and they were talking about how they had a lot of Katy Perry on their iTunes.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have her. Maybe I'll look her up and download it.
Why not?
Sure.
So, going on to that, if you could do one song with any other artist or band or whatever you want and collab with them, who would it be? It can be anyone, any genre, make a brand new song.
I would collaborate with Katy Perry. Yeah. Because we'd probably sell a lot of records if she was singing for one of our songs.
Okay.
Or get a lot of exposure. But when she stopped selling records, we wouldn't want to collaborate with her anymore. So.
You were saying before how when you travel, you've got other things to be doing anyway. So you've all everyone in Less Than Jake's pretty much got a little side project going on. Like you said, you were teaching guitar and stuff. Would you say that's hard to manage as well as being in Less Than Jake and juggling everything about?
Not any harder than anybody else's job is, I don't think. I mean, a couple of our guys in the band have children now, so that takes up their time, and then they have the other stuff that they do while they're home. But if they can make manage of what they have with kids, I can. I don't have children, so we all seem to, we're able to split it up quite nicely.
That's good. So you can manage it quite easily.
Yeah, I mean, there's scheduling. We all are constantly emailing and figuring out this tour's coming up or that tour, but we make it work.
That's good.
So sometimes you have to change last minute things, but it's like anything else in life. Sometimes things come up and you deal with it accordingly.
Fair enough. I was hoping to ask Vinny this question, but hopefully you might have an answer. He owns a toy company, doesn't he?
Yes.
Why is he? Do you know why he started a toy company? Was it a dream or anything?
I do know why. He has been into toys since we were kids, since I knew him. He's always been into toys and collecting, and we were always stopping at toy stores. And then a lot of our merchandise items are dolls and stuff for less than Jake. He came up with the concepts and started meeting artists and started meeting makers of these companies that make these dolls and whatnot. And he decided to, at some point do an offshoot, his own thing. And it's just for the sheer love of toys.
That's good. Everyone likes toys.
And the reason I answered that for him and didn't let him answer it, because I think he would have probably given you the same answer.
Piss off.
Piss off, mate.
Piss off, mate.
So, last question. Have you got any advice for young musicians starting out?
Yes, go to Amplify Youth Music Project. Start there if you're 13 to 19 years old, because it actually sounds like a really cool place. And I'm really happy you guys are doing that, and I mean that. There was no place for me to play as a 13-year-old kid. There was no place, it just didn't exist, to be able to get in front of people unless it was your friend's sweaty, garage. But, that's probably the advice I would get, is to find like-minded musicians, people that you can get together with, find places like this, or start something like this. If you have a town, start a project, or get a hold of you guys and be like, how did you do it? We want to try to do something like this in our town, because it sounds like a good idea. And, and if you want to take the music further after that, a lot of it is you got to find the right guys that have the same goals and ambitions as you, because not everybody does, so. And if you can get to that point and you find dedicated people and, just like anything else in life, work as hard as you can at it, and either it'll pay off or it won't.
Some good advice. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
I already did my ID, so I'm all done.
Brilliant.
Yes. Cool, man.